Before the tiger ruled the forests of Asia, the world was already filled with powerful predators. Millions of years ago, continents looked different. Forests covered enormous areas, grasslands expanded and disappeared. Ice advanced across the northern regions and then retreated again. And through all these changes, one group of animals was quietly evolving: the cats. They would eventually produce some of the most successful predators the planet has ever seen: lions, leopards, jaguars, and eventually, the tiger. Today, the tiger is one of the most recognizable predators on Earth. Its orange coat, its black stripes, its enormous paws, its powerful jaws. But the modern tiger did not simply appear. It is the result of millions of years of evolution, migration, environmental change, and survival. So where did the tiger actually come from? And how did a lineage of ancient cats become one of the most powerful predators in the modern world? The story begins long before there were tigers. The earliest members of the cat lineage were small carnivorous mammals that gradually developed the characteristics we now associate with cats: sharp claws, specialized teeth, flexible bodies, excellent vision, and an extraordinary ability to approach prey quietly. Over millions of years, these early cats diversified. Some remained small, others became larger. Different species adapted to forests, grasslands, mountains, and colder environments. Eventually, one major branch of the cat family would give rise to the genus Panthera. This group would later include the tiger, lion, leopard, jaguar, and snow leopard. But at this point, the tiger still did not exist. Its story was only beginning. Around several million years ago, the ancestors of today's big cats began to diversify. The Panthera lineage became increasingly specialized for life as large predators. Their bodies became powerful, their skulls became stronger, their canine teeth became effective weapons, and their hunting strategies became increasingly sophisticated. Some members of this lineage eventually spread into different parts of the world. As populations became separated by geography and changing environments, they followed different evolutionary paths. One branch would eventually lead toward the tiger, another toward the lion, others toward leopards and jaguars. The modern big cats may look similar in some ways, but each carries a different evolutionary history. The tiger's closest evolutionary story is deeply connected to Asia. One important extinct species is Panthera zdansky, sometimes called the long-dan tiger. It lived in what is now China during the early Pleistocene. It was not identical to a modern tiger. Its skull and body proportions were different, but it provides important evidence about the early history of the tiger lineage. As time passed, tiger relatives became increasingly specialized. Their bodies became larger and more powerful. Their teeth and jaws became adapted for killing large prey, and their ancestors spread across enormous areas of Asia. The world was constantly changing. Climate shifted, forests expanded and contracted, grasslands appeared, rivers changed their courses, and animals moved with them. For predators, these environmental changes created new opportunities and new challenges. A predator that depended on one type of prey could struggle when that prey disappeared. But animals capable of adapting had a better chance of surviving. Tiger ancestors became highly versatile. They could live in forests, they could move through grasslands, they could survive in colder environments, and they could hunt a wide variety of prey. This flexibility would become one of the tiger's greatest strengths. Over evolutionary time, tiger relatives developed the powerful bodies that we recognize today. Large muscles gave them explosive strength. Massive forelimbs helped them overpower prey. Their jaws became capable of delivering powerful bites, and their retractable claws provided another advantage. Unlike many predators that chase prey over long distances, tigers became specialists in ambush. They did not need to outrun their prey. They needed to get close, very close, then strike with overwhelming force. This hunting strategy shaped the tiger's entire body. Perhaps the tiger's most recognizable feature is its stripes. At first glance, they may seem like simple decoration, but in the wild, those stripes can make a tiger surprisingly difficult to see. Inside forests, grasslands, reeds, and areas of broken sunlight, the vertical patterns disrupt the outline of the animal. A prey animal may see movement, but struggle to recognize exactly where the predator is. For an ambush hunter, that can mean the difference between success and failure. The tiger's coat is therefore not simply beautiful, it is part of its hunting equipment. As tiger populations expanded, they occupied an enormous geographic range. They eventually lived across parts of eastern, southern, and northern Asia, and different populations encountered very different environments. Some lived in tropical forests, others survived in mangrove ecosystems, some adapted to colder regions. The most extreme example was the Siberian tiger, also known as the Amur tiger. Its ancestors faced long winters, deep snow, and extremely cold temperatures. Meanwhile, tigers farther south lived in hot, humid forests. The same basic predator was capable of surviving in dramatically different worlds. The tiger did not evolve in an empty world. It shared ancient ecosystems with many other predators. Some were competitors, some were potential threats, and many were prey. Across prehistoric Asia, large herbivores provided enormous sources of food. Deer, wild cattle, ancient horses, wild pigs, and other large mammals. But ecosystems constantly changed. When prey populations declined, predators faced pressure. When climates shifted, habitats changed. And when humans eventually spread across Asia, the tiger encountered something it had never faced before on such a large scale. A new competitor. Us. For thousands of years, humans and tigers shared the same landscapes. Sometimes they avoided each other. Sometimes they competed for prey. And sometimes they came into conflict. As human populations grew, forests were cleared, grasslands were converted into farmland, roads divided habitats, and wild prey became increasingly difficult for tigers to find. The tiger's enormous historical range began to shrink, populations became separated, and the once widespread predator gradually disappeared from many parts of Asia. Today, the tiger survives in a fraction of its historical range. But where it remains protected, it can still play an important role in the ecosystem. As an apex predator, the tiger helps regulate populations of large herbivores and other animals. Its presence can influence the entire food web, but survival is not guaranteed. Tigers still face habitat loss, fragmentation, declining prey, and illegal hunting. Their future depends heavily on protecting large connected landscapes and the animals they depend on for food. Look at a tiger today. It may seem like a creature perfectly designed for the modern world, but every part of that animal carries history. Its teeth tell the story of ancient predators. Its powerful legs reflect generations of hunting adaptation. Its stripes help it disappear into vegetation. Its muscles allow it to overpower prey. And its ability to survive in different environments reflects millions of years of evolutionary change. The tiger is not simply a large cat. It is the surviving result of an ancient evolutionary journey. Millions of years ago, its ancestors were just another group of carnivorous mammals struggling to survive in a changing world. They survived, they adapted, they spread, and eventually the tiger emerged. Today, its roar still echoes through the forests of Asia. But behind that roar is a history far older than human civilization, a history written in fossils, bones, genes, and landscapes. The tiger's story is not only about the predator we see today. It is about the countless generations that came before it, and perhaps most importantly, it reminds us that even the most powerful animals on Earth are still shaped by a changing world. The tiger survived millions of years of change. Now, its future depends on whether the modern world can give it enough space to continue that story.